Exhale, Michigan! The Wings have pulled off the win! They keep their postseason hopes alive, even though there were multiple factors against the Red Wings at play today. You can say that the goaltending maybe was a little bit questionable. You can say that the penalties, Patrick Kane especially, maybe a little bit questionable. But one thing's for certain. This 5-4 win in overtime against the Toronto Maple Leafs was the biggest Detroit Red Wings victory we have seen in maybe about a decade-ish. When was the last time the Wings have had such an important game on the line and they pulled out the dub? Of course, you can say all the games right now are the most important games the Wings have played in years, but this one in particular, especially with the nail-biting fashion in which the Wings almost lost. This was an opportunity for the ages for Detroit to keep their season alive, one of the only chances left, and they do it. Thank you, Dylan Larkin, and thank you to Patrick Kane and Shane Gostisbehere for the assists on the overtime winner. And I say thank you to Kane very loosely because we'll get to Patrick Kane as this video goes along. But as we had said, 5-4 is the final score here as the Maple Leafs lose to the Red Wings. I will say for a lot of Leafs fans heading into tonight's matchup, they didn't really care too much about this game. Like, the Bruins and the Panthers already locked up home ice advantage. You are not going to be able to see Toronto take up a top 2 spot in the division, so they were already out of it. This game didn't really mean anything. It's garbage time for the Maple Leafs, but the most important Maple Leaf story heading into today's game was Auston Matthews, because the guy's got 68 goals. Heading into today, there were 3 games left, so Matthews needed to get himself 2 goals in 3 games to get to 70, and heading into this Red Wings game, a lot of fans are kind of saying, okay, you know, if the Leafs end up losing, it's fine, as long as Matthews gets a goal or 2, gets that 70-goal marker right on. And we got a goal. We also got a Red Wings win, so I think most parties involved here are very, very happy with the result. Mitch Marner started things out on the power play to open things up 1-0. Assists go out to William Nylander and Morgan Rielly. I mean, look, when William Nylander makes passes like those right through the slot, through like 3 or 4 guys, and it goes backdoor, James Reimer is completely hung out to dry because he was committed to the shot and he was, in a way, a little bit too far out into his crease. That's an easy goal. 1-0 Toronto to get things started, but then the Wings showed off that they have what it takes to bite back. And it took just a few minutes for Alex DeBrincat to come in on a 2-on-1. Raymond sends him the pass. DeBrincat fires the shot, and he beats Samsonov. Ties it up 1-1. Finally, Alex DeBrincat gets the monkey off of his back, and he scores a goal. We have been criticizing him this entire time, saying, yeah, he's not scoring. He's getting some assists, but he's not scoring any goals. Well, he scored a goal here. Thank you, Lucas Raymond, for the assist, and thank you 3 minutes later to Simon Edvinsson, who scored himself his first NHL goal. It's a textbook give-and-go play. What a beautiful showcase of talent here by the big Swede. As Edvinsson kind of shimmy-shammies his way down the left half boards, he sends it over to the goal line and gets the pass right back from Perron, walks into the hash marks and fires it. What a beautiful first NHL goal for a defenseman. You don't normally see D-men going out there and committing to offensive plays like that, especially when they're rookies. Edvinsson, you can say, isn't even a full-time rookie yet. I mean, he's only able to play, 15 total games for the Red Wings this season, and the rookie eligibility cutoff is 25, so next year will actually be Edvinsson's rookie season if you wanted to get all technical about it, but even still, he's committing to the bit, he's going down the boards, he's contributing offensively, which is awesome, and it's his first NHL goal to give the Wings the 2-1 lead. 4 minutes later, it's Alex DeBrincat once again on the power play. He delivers on a juicy rebound. JT Compher had the initial shot, Samsonov kicked it out to the side, and DeBrincat was there to put the biscuit in the basket. 3-1 Detroit with 3 minutes to go in the first, but then it's David Perron who gets a wide-angle shot to go right through Ilya Samsonov. He makes it 4-1 Detroit with 20 seconds to go in the first, And at this point, Wings fans are salivating. Yes, we got ourselves a 4-1 lead. This is the start they needed. They decided they wanted to make the playoffs. They have no choice because the Capitals and the Flyers each won today, in regulation nonetheless. Meanwhile, you have the Islanders who lost in a shootout and the Pittsburgh Penguins who are currently losing to the Boston Bruins, but still, lots of tight action going on with the NHL, the race for that final Metro spot and that final wildcard spot. The Wings needed to step up big time because their opponents stepped up big time. Those other teams started to win games today, so 4-1 lead, pretty secure. But as some Maple Leafs fans were memeing about heading into the second and third periods of this game, James Reimer has a history of playing very well when his team has a 4-1 lead, right? And what was 4-1 ultimately came 4-2. When Nick Robertson scored at the halfway mark of the game, he came right down and just sniped it. Okay. Then Auston Matthews, 1 minute later, on the power play, makes it 4-3. And there was no opportunity for James Reimer to get this one because the puck got sent across to Matthews. Reimer again committed to the shooter, Mitch Marner. He was way too far out of his crease, and then he went down before Matthews took the shot. 69th goal in the year for Auston Matthews. Very nice amount of goals. He's got one more goal to go before he hits 70. And then, 7 minutes after Matthews made it 4-3, you had John Tavares who scored to make it 4-4. The Leafs were buzzing on this shift, and eventually it's Johnny T who gets a beautiful pass on the side from Mitch Marner, who is in the corner pretty much. It goes through everybody, deflects to Tavares, he scores, 4-4 tie game at the end of the second period, and Red Wings fans are freaking out. Not only because of the goals, but because of the penalties that were called here as well. You had Patrick Kane, he got off for high-sticking a double minor against Simon Benoit, which is kind of what got the Auston Matthews train started and rolling. In the third period, you had yourselves no goals, but Patrick Kane took a second high-sticking penalty. So not only did Kane take a high-sticking double minor against Benoit in the second, but he also took a high-sticking penalty with 3 minutes to go in the third. Tie game, Wings season on the line. Kane goes to the box, and miraculously, the Red Wings end up killing it off. The Leafs tried getting it to Matthews, but he couldn't score. None of them could, and the Red Wings ultimately killed off this Patrick Kane minor towards the end of the third in a very nail-bitingly close fashion. Like, this could have gone either way, and the Wings could have had their season hopes ruined by this Patrick Kane penalty. But hey, the guy who got high-sticked at Max Domi ends up taking a penalty himself with 11 seconds to go in the third period. Domi ends up tripping Alex DeBrincat, and in overtime you have the 4-on-3 where Dylan Larkin gets the feed in front from Patrick Kane and buries it to make it 5-4 Detroit. Beautiful play there by Patty Kane to send the puck towards the goal and have it deflect right through off of Larkin's stick and in. That was the most important win the Red Wings have pulled off in years, and it comes off the stick of Captain Dylan Larkin. Patty Kane, I don't know if I should say thank you or screw you or whatever, but yeah, try not to take those high-sticking penalties. A little too careless with his stick now, ain't he? And it almost cost the Red Wings. This very well could have costed the Red Wings. I'm not going to lie. James Reimer, I felt, was a very shaky goaltender today. Like, I don't know what it is, but in these high-pressure, high-stakes games, especially against Toronto, like, when he makes a save, he looks so panicky with it. Even when he gets the puck, he's, like, really far out of his crease, and he's trying to cover it, and you just kind of have this fear that he'll bobble it or somehow it'll squeak by him. I don't know, man. Big props out to James Reimer for holding the fort down in the third period. The Leafs had 16 shots on goal in the third, and Reimer stopped them all, which was very good, considering the fact that he let in 3 goals by Toronto in the second period, all within the span of about 6 or 7 minutes. Not ideal, but either way, Jim Reimer gets himself the win. And with that, the Detroit Red Wings bolster up their playoff odds to a whopping 30%, which is double what it was earlier this morning. Sure, it's not 50 or 100, it's 1/3 the chance of being able to make the playoffs. But as we had talked about in yesterday's video, if the Wings want to make it, the Wings gotta win. And this Toronto Maple Leafs game may have just been the first one on the chopping block, because the Wings are playing off against the Canadiens twice to end off the 23-24 regular season. They need to win these games. Habs fans also want these games to be lost too, because they want to tank for Celebrini. It's in everybody's best interest for Detroit to beat Montreal twice in regulation next week. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, though, about this Red Wings and Leafs game. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.